Hey guys, today we're going to go over some upper body foam rolling techniques. So we're going to start with our mid back. So we're going to try to open it up a little bit and get a little bit more space and kind of stretch it a little bit with the foam roller, because a lot of times we're kind of hunched and rounded forward for most of the day. So we're just going to kind of get that back up and open. So I always start with, I like the full body foam rollers, and this is a high density foam roller, so it has a little bit of give. I'm not a big fan of the plastic ones unless they have a little bit of padding on top to give you some give. So for mid back, we want to avoid rolling over that low back right over the spine. But with the mid back, we have the support of the rib cage. So we're going to start right about there for women, right about bra line. For men, you're going to go a couple inches from where you can feel like the lowest part of your ribs on your side right there. So about right there, we're just going to lean over the foam roller. I always like to lift my butt because I don't want to put that arch into my low back and then have that hurt. So I just kind of lift that to keep that neutral back right there. And you can have hands behind your back to support that neck, or hands behind your head to support that neck. Or you can cross them over your shoulder if this feels like too much of a stretch. But this also kind of gets into that pec a little bit, so I like this one. So you're just, instead of rolling that whole length, we're just gonna focus on a spot and then try to extend over that spot. And I just hold that for 5 or 6 seconds. You can add a little rock if you want. And then I'm gonna kind of come up, and then I'm just going to walk it down to the next spot. And again, just kind of try to extend back and over that. Add a little rock. And you can go all the way up to about your shoulders. So we don't want to start rolling on that neck either. So when we get to the top of our shoulders, that's about where we stop. So our next one is we can kind of get into that lat right there. So this one can be a tender one, so I always start, find a spot, and then if I need more, I can lift to really get my pressure into that spot, or I can take my arm and then add a little bit of movement here. So this is more like a pin and stretch for that lat muscle. And you can kind of rock back a little bit and get more into that lat, that posterior delt area, and then just get that stretch here. So I usually find 2 or 3 spots on each side that are really tender, add a little bit of movement, and then I'll go to the other side. So make sure you're doing this one on both sides. Get both arms. Spend no more than a couple minutes on that. And then we have one, you can bring it over here for our triceps. So you can put this like on a chair, and then you're just gonna basically put your elbows right here, and then same thing, just find a spot. And then I always add some arm flexion and extension. And the more body you put on it, the more pressure. You can also focus on one by just leaning into that side and doing one at a time. And then for biceps, I typically just use a ball. So you can use a foam roller and just put it against the wall if you want, but it is easy just to kind of take that ball, find a spot, and just kind of work it out like that. All right, So try that out, and hopefully that'll give you a little bit of relief for your upper body. That mid back one is is really great to do. I do it all the time, especially if I've been sitting at a desk or if I just feel tight and just kind of hunched over all the time. It's a good posture reset. So try these out. Let me know how they go, and we'll see you next time.